Okay, so we know that the perimeter of the rectangular rug is 26 feet. So we can say that P, the perimeter of the rug, equals 26 feet. And because this width is parallel to this width, we know that this side has to equal W also. Same with the length. This side equals the length. So since the perimeter is the length of all the sides added up, we know that the perimeter equals length plus width plus width. And we can simplify that to 2L plus 2W. So now to put that in more simpler terms, 26 equals 2L plus 2W. Okay, the second information it gives us is that the area is 30 square feet. Area equals 30. And the area of a rectangle is defined by length times width. So we know that 30 equals L times W. So now we have two variables in each of these equations, so we can't solve either of them. So this is what we call a system of equations, where we have to isolate one variable and plug it into the other equation. So I'm going to choose, let's work on this equation. So 26 equals 2L plus 2W. If we subtract 2W from each side, we end up with 26 minus 2W equals 2L. And if we divide everything by 2 one more time, oops, let's fix that. That was L. Divide everything by 2, where you end up with 13 minus W equals L. So now we know that L equals 13 minus W. And we can plug this L into this equation over here. So plugging it in, I'll go over here. 30 equals 13 minus W times W. Okay, and now we have to distribute. So 13W minus W squared equals 30. Okay, this looks like something that's factorable, but we can't factor it until there's a 0 on this side. So we have to subtract 30 from both sides, where we get 0 equals negative W squared plus 13W minus 30. I rearranged some terms here just to make it easier to factor. And I am running out of room a little bit, but we can make it fit. So to factor this, we know that there is, actually, let me go back. We're going to factor out a 1 first to make this a little bit easier. So negative W squared minus 13W plus 30. Okay, we're going to move up here now. Okay, so we know there's a negative 1 outside, and we need to factor this equation into two separate parts, where we know there's a W here, and there's some number here, two numbers here, that multiply to get negative 30. So let's go ahead and list the multiples of 30. So 30 times 1, 15 times 2. 15 times 2 stands out to me because 15 minus 2 equals 13, which is this middle term. So let's go with plus 15 in here, minus 2 in here. Okay, this is all equal to 0. So now we can set each of these equal to 0. And we get W equals -15 and W, oops, that's a 0, equals 2. The width of this rectangle, it cannot be negative. That's impossible. You can't have a negative length, so we're just going to pretend this doesn't exist. So we know the width must equal 2. So this is good. We know the width. Now we can plug this width back into this equation over here. So we know 30 equals length times 2. And divide both sides by 2, we get that length equals 15. And the equation up here was asking whether the dimensions of the rug. So we have our answer, length. The length is 15 and the width is 2. And there's your answer.